Hey guys, I hope you had a Merry Torquing Christmas, because we're back and we're ready to rock with this damn motor. Hey guys, so we're back. We went ahead, we've got the transmission bolted up to this motor. What we're going to do is we're going to end up bolting up the mounts for the motor and try to put that back into the frame. So that way we can bolt it up here. We'll end up putting it straight as we can and drill new holes in that transmission bracket, so we can actually bolt it down. Once that's all done, then we're going to start bolting up maybe the exhaust and some components, seeing what we need fixed, what we need to beat and bang to make it work and get it fixed and running. So let's get to it. Rocking on. TorqueRiot. Yeah. Alright, so we got the motor mounted. It's in pretty good and tight. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to go ahead, pull the transmission straight so it lines up good with the diff as good as we can. We may have to ratchet strap it, hold it off. Then we're going to go ahead and mark where this bracket touches so we can pull this transfer case off and drill perfect straight holes straight through this trans plate and hopefully mount it down, and then the motor will be in here. So going pretty good, pretty smooth. We're worried that something's going to happen otherwise, so let's get to it.
Alright guys, I don't know if you can tell, but it's cold in here. But we got some more progress on this little guy. So we got the old transmission finally mounted. If you saw, we pulled the transfer case off. We went ahead and drilled out the holes. We got them mounted. If you look over here, we got the engine sitting right at 3 degrees. Perfect, just where we want it to be. So now that we got this mounted, the next thing we're going to do is we pulled our new brake lines out. We're going to roll this back. We're going to lay these out, see where they need to go, and then we're going to look at our old brake lines down there. So pull our old brake lines out. So we're going to slowly pull the clips off, put them on the new brake lines. First things first, we're going to lay them out, see where they need to go. So let's get back to work. Alright you guys, so we got the brake lines installed, we got the distribution block up here. Now we haven't finished tightening all the brake lines down because if you can look here, a lot of these clips have gotten pretty brittle and broken. So we're going to order new clips, replace them, and then after that we'll tighten the brake lines down. Now we did notice on the fuel line, it is pretty rusted for the return line. So if you follow it all the way back, it's broken at the back end. So we're going to order a new piece of that, order that, replace it. The next thing we're going to be doing on the motor is we're going to get the headers installed, start running the exhaust out the back, get that all mocked up, and then on top of that we're going to replace the fluids in the motor, change the filter out. Trans is empty at the moment, so we need to replace that as well. And then we're going to get to the front of the motor, get all our pulleys on there. I think we need to make a new bracket for the power steering pump, is it?
Yeah.
Power steering pump. But for tonight, we got the motor installed, brake lines are on. It's getting late on us. It's cold outside. So Brent and I are going to call it a night, and then we'll be back first thing in the morning.
Hey, so what's up guys? So we got the alternator, the power steering pump, the alternator bracket, and the power steering bracket all on order. We also have some exhaust on order. And so we also have some components that we actually didn't have to order, thank goodness. So we have some stuff that we're going to go ahead and paint. We've got the water pump, the fan pulley, the crank pulley, and the valve covers. So the valve covers, I'm going to go ahead and paint them while I'm putting this stuff on. I'm going to let that dry. And then after it's dry, I'm going to come back with an air Dremel. And I'm going to Dremel right off the top, just like a little tiny sandpaper. So that way, not only does it not have to be taped, it also shines up that aluminum real good. It'll have a great contrast. So let's get to making some gaskets and have a good old torquing time. Hey guys, welcome on back, and I hope you had a merry torquing Christmas. So, our brackets came in. We're going to go ahead and throw in the alternator, the power steering pump. We're going to try to get that all nice and pretty. After that, we're going to work to the exhaust. We've got a dent in this header over here so we can make some things work. Then we're going to go ahead and run it around and tack it up. So stay tuned, and let's get to it. Alright, so we got the alternator mounted. It's good and tight. Got the power steering pump good and mounted. So we're going to go ahead, we'll probably take some measurements and get the actual belt length and go order some belts. We're also going to go ahead and put these hooker header on and beat and bang, because this one's not going to clear one of the actual bracket, well, the motor mount. So we're going to beat it right here. Not that, but the actual header itself, so she'll fit right in. The other side is perfect. It wouldn't be a better fit, but we got a little modification. It won't take much. We're gonna knock it out. So come on and join us. All right, so check it out. We got the exhaust on. We ended up denting up and making it where we have a pretty good gap, so it's not rubbing on the actual mount or anything like that. Pipes go down, curve around. We've got about 1.5 inches gap between the bell housing and the actual exhaust, so we don't have any rubs, nothing like that. Over on this side, we've left a gap because we need to put the starter on, so we've left a gap for that. Came back around, run both pipes, so we still have dual exhaust. We ended up running with this muffler, so that way we have our own X pipe going on. We decided to come on out right here beside the passenger door because we don't want them to hear anything. All right, so we ended up making a bracket, so she's good and stiff. Shouldn't shake too bad. What we've got coming up is we need to take off the power steering pump because we need to end up making some hoses to go to our Chevrolet steering pump. Plus we want to go ahead and get this out of the way so we can put our dust cover over top of this without having to lay this on it and scratch it. We also have the distributor we need to throw in. And like I said, the starter, we got to throw that in. Before we put the starter in, we need to throw this dust cover on. So we're going to go ahead and get to it. I hope you guys like it. Let's get to it.
Alright, check it out you guys. So, Brent and I managed to get the fuel tank installed on Brent's Jeep. He did pick up a nice skid plate. It was pretty bent out of shape. Brent used his sledgehammer persuasion and got it straight again. Get a quick view of that under there, Brent. It looks pretty good. It's dented up, but Brent's dying to go some rock crawling, so it looks pretty good. We still need to buy a little T for the back for a return line. No big deal there. Brent did install a return line here, nice hard line. That looks good. And the biggest thing that Brent got done is this exhaust. These headers look great. He managed to fab up an exhaust out the back. He's got his flow master here. That thing's gonna sound good. He's got that all fabbed up, it's welded. We got a nice hanger bracket here. It's solid. We may make it an exhaust come out the back and over the axle, but for now, the passenger's gonna hate life. That's okay, they'll get over it. Then, we also changed our distributor, because the old one, we don't have time for old stuff anymore. And if you can see these nice valve covers that Brent put on here, much better than those chrome things he had on there as well. And then, the front of the motor, if you look here, Brent did a good job cleaning up the front of the motor. Got the accessories mounted. It looks like an actual motor now. With the exhaust, it looks pretty darn good. You know, the only thing we got to do now, we're gonna get some belts for the front of this. We're still waiting on a few lines to come in so we can finish routing this. We've got the carburetor we still need to stick on there, plus the breather, etc. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. It's coming along. It's a little slower than we'd like, but it's getting cold outside. We hate the cold. Maybe Brent likes it. I don't. Regardless, we've done a lot of work. So that's the end of this video today. I hope you guys like what you see. If you do, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with any friends you have. And as always, thanks for watching.